Oh, you knew we were going to be reacting to this. This is the new content nuke from Ethan Klein to Hasan Piker. Now, I have a question for all of you, and this is very important. How many generations of inbreeding do you think it took to create somebody as vicious, as hostile, as angry, and as stupid as Hasan Piker? Also, the other question that I think is pertinent as it relates to Hasan is, well, how old were the underage girls that were at the brothel that he visited? I think we should know. How old were they, Hasan? How old were the girls at the brothel that was raided for trafficking underage girls? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody on the internet that despises Hasan Piker more than I do, for a variety of reasons. He is a terrorist supporter. He is anti-American. He will defend evil at every opportunity. And I think the fact that Ethan Klein, of all people, is the one that finally had enough and is coming after him, you love to see it. Now, I'm no fan of Ethan Klein by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like his politics. I don't like his demeanor. I don't like the fact that he would usually make things up about people on his stream and just sort of try to coax the most sensationalistic bullshit out, even if it was at the expense of his reputation and credibility. However, in this case, I do appreciate the fact that he's going after Hasan. I think that Hasan is much, much worse than Ethan Klein. So, all these things are relative. Kind of like the people in Hasan's past that must have, gotten together to create a lineage, a family tree that loops around to create somebody like Hasan. Anyway, without further ado, let's watch Ethan Klein's quote-unquote content nuke.
Hi there, my name is Ethan Klein, and my favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today I invite you into my home to share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About a year and a half ago, it's a big conversation called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hasan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this phenomenon.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done when they've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry because why should these content thieves, essentially, get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't like injustice, and we all see this and know it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called into my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright? Or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because...
Well, that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your
do
prime...
That.
Then watch
Bro,
your prime content.
Do it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's a...
What the hell? Yeah, I suppose it's content. It's just weird. Here's my take on the whole reaction thing. I'm of two minds. I understand that there are people that put in a lot of work, and having somebody like Hasan just stream it to his audience and then get up and leave the room as the video is playing. I understand that part of it. I think is egregious. However, somebody like myself, I'm going to react to probably all of Ethan Klein's video here. However, everyone knows his channel. They know where to find the original video, and I'm a small content creator. If I were to reach out and ask for permission to react to videos, I wouldn't react to videos. Nobody would respond. So from my perspective, I'm actually adding commentary. Even if we're going to watch the whole thing, I'm going to add commentary. I'm going to add my opinion. I'm going to add my flair. I'm going to add my take. I'm not just going to get up and leave the room and leave you here to listen to the whole thing and then come back and say, okay, guys, wow, that was a great video. Subscribe to Tactical Templar. And, like that's not what I'm doing. And as a small content creator, if I reached out to Ethan Klein, he would never in a million years respond, because he probably gets thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of messages. And plus, when it comes to Hasan, of course, Hasan's not going to give me permission to react to his content. I make fun of him all the time, and I pose questions that he probably doesn't want answered. Like, again, how old were the girls at the brothel that was raided for trafficking underage girls? You went to a brothel. And those girls, some of them at least, were underage. So I think we have a right to know, as you call people pedos, Hasan, how old were those girls?
It's original content, at least. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first? I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hasan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts, when Hasan gets up to go to the bathroom, or to eat, or to talk to his mom, or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area around the main airport in Sana. Then this.
Do not This operation will result in killing hostages in captivity. Will result in the death of the
Well, I've been thinking
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist? They couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published.
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now, the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denims sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer. Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit. Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of...
I mean, let's just take a moment to look at the sea of just degenerate filth. You've got Comrade Casey, Frogan, or Hijabba the Hutt as she's known on this channel, Sean DeBlack, Denims, or I don't know what they're gonna start calling her after this. Central Committee, Mike from PA, that guy is the unhinged lunatic that said that you have the right to citizens arrest somebody, and basically encouraging people to break the law. Hallucino gender. I mean, these people are retarded. Kaceytron. I mean, that is an absolute disgusting wretch of a woman. Do Not Worry podcast. Uninformed leftist. Oh, perfect. I mean, at least they're honest about it. They're uninformed.
Of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers, actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter. So, thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
Ladies and gentlemen, I swear to you that when it comes to these leftists, we are facing an evolutionary gap in intelligence. These people commit crimes and will actively just say, yeah, I'm doing this for this malicious reason. Hasan Piker streams himself going into the middle of a riot in LA, which is completely and totally illegal. And these people commit crimes, they film themselves doing it, and then they brag about it. Because these people on the left never have to face the consequences of their own bad behavior. And boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be nice if just once these people had to face the reality that no, you can't just do whatever you want, that there are consequences for your bad behavior. Those consequences can come in the form of you getting sued by an even bigger creator, by Twitch removing your content or taking it down, banning you, whether it be for a week or a month or a year or permanently. But boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be nice to see some consistency and to see these bad actors, these agitators, these activists get punished for the shit that they do. And these people feel so comfortable, so privileged, that they think that they are above the law, that they are above even pretending to be good faith. Like, if I were to watch a video from Hasan, and I were to be like, well, guys, yeah, you know, we're taking views from Hasan. Well, first of all, no, because nobody in my audience, I think, would watch Hasan Piker, would go to his stream. I don't think that's something that would happen. Most people from my audience would probably consider, you know, a ice pick lobotomy as preferable to watching Hasan. Hasan is a degenerate retard. He is a leftist extremist radical. He is anti-American. He honestly should have his citizenship revoked, and he should be deported from the country.
If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here.
It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denims, the queen of self-owning, you prevail again. There's one thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now, I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hasan Piker Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating, Even though theoretically I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars, but the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
The state of reaction content on Twitch is so broken, these creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, hey, I'm stealing this guy's content. Pay me instead of him. This is not a healthy environment. And with people like Hasan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make it clear that they all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All 3 are on this list. In fact, they're the only 3, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? Kaceytron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
They do musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you... Look!
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
You think I made this?
Frogan, who, bless her soul, she's still rising.
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission?
Yeah, by the way, giving her the Rising Star Award, I mean, the only thing rising about Frogan is her weight. I know that was a low-hanging joke, but I'm still going to take it.
Permission. Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happened?
And Denims, the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro, I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive.
He never said Hasan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the complaints, and let's start with my favorite of the 3, the very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical Kaceytron.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're going to watch it.
Well, that's a really dumb thing to say, don't you think? Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title, and here's Kaceytron's. She smoked more than she spoke. Kaceytron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking? And thinking there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction. And whatever talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed, Kaceytron is often
this woman is a wreck. I almost feel bad if she weren't such a hideous person. And by hideous, I'm not even talking about her appearance, which could totally apply. I would understand why you would think so, but no, she's just a horrible wretch of a woman. Just such a terrible, disgusting person. And that to me is just, it's so indicative of that sort of lifestyle, that sort of mentality. it makes sense why she would have people like Frogan and Hasan within her orbit, because both those people are also damaged, broken, degenerate, and just disgusting.
Obliterated to comment on the nuke, and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, Kaceytron smokes.
Understand. Obviously, on the online content creator community, a lot of people do drugs, a lot of people drink. It's what they do. I'm not here to wag my finger at you, but what I am here to say is, at the bare minimum, if you're going to be reacting to a video, at least do your best to give it your full attention and try to provide some value in commentary. Now, I know that's hard for these people to do because they have no value, but you have to give it your best shot. You have to at least attempt, on the surface, at least pretend that you're making an effort to do some kind of informed reaction. Otherwise, it is just theft. You are just watching something in the hopes that you get paid and not Ethan Klein, which, I'm no fan of Ethan Klein, but at the end of the day, there's a certain standard to this sort of stuff. And when you violate that, because you think that you're morally justified to do it, which, by the way, the people who feel the most morally justified in being disgusting, nasty people are disgusting, nasty people that have no right to be as vindictive and vengeful as they are. The fact that Kaceytron is ripping bong loads on stream and then be like, oh, I don't know what's happening. I mean, that is so insulting to her audience. And you may say her audience are a bunch of Hasan fan retards. That may be true, but as a content creator, no matter who your audience is, you have an obligation to provide them with the best that you can do, the best content that you can provide. You have an obligation to do that. And by not doing that, I think it opens yourself up to be mocked and ridiculed even more, and even potentially sued. Which is why I support Ethan Klein in this 100%. It's not that these people even have any money, but it's the principle of it. And I hope that he sues them, and I hope that he sets a precedent.
Marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point, Kaceytron is so wasted that she states, quote, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot." To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary comes down to this.
I don't understand this bit that he's doing.
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
CPM's coming out of Qatar.
What the hell
you
is
kids
going
love anime,
on?
right?
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
They do musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you look? You think I made this? This isn't a music video, Hasan.
And as dumb as all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're gonna watch it. What the fuck is
I tell you, these people are so arrogant and so stupid, and they feel so morally justified that they confess to committing crimes and stealing things from people. And they, for some reason, they feel like they're in the morally correct position. It is insane to me that you have these people that can do evil and speak evil and yet think they're good people. That is insane. No amount of pot smoking in the world should be able to rationalize this. You are a terrible, disgusting person. You are horrible. The way that you treat other people, the way that you react to certain situations, You would think that you would have some self-awareness, but holy shit. This is embarrassing. And I mean, you need serious professional help. I'm not going to provide that for you. I'm just going to make fun of you. You're ugly and gross and fat, and you're a horror show. Not a horror show. A horror show.
Going on here?
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me can watch it through her is why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially if your commentary consists of you taking bong loads. At least try to engage with the content. Whoa, what was that? Oh, sorry. That was a flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys. Frogan. Reaction by exiting. Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that transformative? I guess the judge will decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new nuke ethically. Hell yeah." Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans begin to call her out.
I don't have anything to say, dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds? It's been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube? Are you gonna make at least one good point? What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing." You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious.
Like, I'm just... Listen. I want to be... I want to be as charitable in these situations as possible. For the sake of my mental health. But the fact of the matter is that if you're going to sit in front of your computer and you're going to stream yourself recording content that has to do with Ethan Klein, at the bare minimum, you could do the respect to yourself and your audience and, yes, even Ethan, to watch the whole thing. To watch the whole thing. And you're supposed to be, what, some kind of political expert that people are supposed to listen to? Are you kidding? This is absurd. Absolutely absurd. And it goes to show you the type of people that we're dealing with here on a daily basis. These people are demonic freaks. Not just for this one thing, but their continual behavior, the way that they engage with the world, the way that they think that everyone owes them something, the way that they commit crimes or engage in bad behavior and think that they shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of their own actions. And the moment that they do have to suffer the consequences of their own actions, they frame it as authoritarianism, fascism, oppression. You being held accountable is the bare minimum. It is what you should have to do when you have done something that's wrong. And the hope is that you learn from that and then maybe don't do it again in the future. But that's asking too much.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happens?
Fucking talking about
Well, you just pause it. That's it. You just pause the video, right? Like, you get up and you go to the bathroom, you just pause it. They should be watching for you. But if you get up to go to the bathroom and they keep watching my video, they're clearly not watching for you, right? As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. First time viewer, time to watch the nuke ethically? Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people. Reddit people, Reddit people. I came from the Itchy Snark Reddit.
God, just looking at her is a punishment. God, oh man. Just looking at her face is a punishment. I hope you all appreciate the sacrifice I make for all of you. I have to sit here and look at Frogan's face.
Ethan is so pathetic while Hasan is in Japan. I'm bothered having a great time. Exactly. We're gonna watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching through other streamers. And I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal. They talk about watching ethically, but I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she chair react, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now? Here's some quotes from Denims. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it. That is very explicit. Denims said, quote, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Your content? The Queen of Self-Own included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly how long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully, when I'm back, they're done with this.
Right.
You do look
Literally,
better.
Mr. 305. I see it.
Dude, you should do this.
I have an alternate.
We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it, you know, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here, because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it by asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content. That is like chef kiss. By the way, Denims had a very successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her live. Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hasan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating things in that podcast? The Queen of Self-Own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like I think filler content, like you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer. And I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that. Because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people say that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. You know, I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people. A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch of videos. And they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
Like, I'm sure
From the people that I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there to watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video they like. If someone watches content, I already said this, if someone watches content on someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like. Or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is called theft. And you're a thief. And now I'm suing you. This is just a testimony to how brazen and how safe they've, gotten. That she thinks she can go out in public on video and say shit like, I'm stealing this content because I want to. I'm coping even though I know it's stealing. When people watch it with me, they're definitely not going to go watch the original. Like, you are way too comfortable committing crimes out in the open. Well, there you have it. 3 separate lawsuits for 3 separate geniuses. Now, I want to make it clear again, and I hope it's been obvious about why I'm suing these 3 people and not others. These people not only violated all of the principles of fair use, they also did it maliciously. And that's the part that really got me. I think if you're a reactor on Twitch, for the most part, if you make a good faith effort to comment, and if you make a good faith effort to promote the author, to link to them, to try to drive traffic to the original video, I think you're probably pretty much doing the right thing, and that's fine. And I would never sue someone for that. Take it to these three absolute morons to state their intention to steal my property on video. You know, and to all the detractors who are saying that I'm targeting women, that I'm a hypocrite for suing for copyright infringement, I just have this to say. I don't care. What I do hope, though, is that you'll support their crowdfunding efforts to defend themselves. Because let's face it, I want to make sure there's money left over for me when I win my lawsuits.
So here's my take on this. I think he's absolutely right. I support him in this lawsuit. I will make content when Hasan inevitably reacts to this, melting down and having a tantrum, having a crash out. You know, it's what Hasan does. The one thing that I may disagree with him on is this. I don't think that if you react to content that you should feel obligated to direct people, like linking it in your description. I think you can do that. I think that's perfectly fine if you do. But for example, if I react to a clip from Hasan, I would much rather not link to his channel, if that makes sense. I understand what he's talking about. And in this case, he's in the right, because if he actually registered those content nukes, then he has every right to do that and to sue them. And I'm going to be here to record the content, to talk about it, to have some fun at the expense of these awful people. And here's the deal. Finally, and I can't believe it's Ethan Klein that's doing it, finally, somebody is holding these people accountable for their bad behavior. Finally, I didn't think it would be Ethan Klein, the guy that did the Leftover podcast with us on, the guy that constantly misrepresents people and lies about them, or maybe he's changed. But his podcast, the ones that I used to watch, like for example, when he had on Jordan Peterson, I'm no fan of Jordan Peterson anymore. But when he had on Jordan Peterson and then came out with a post going, oh, I'm deleting the Jordan Peterson thing. Like, this guy tried to suck up to the left. And it was only once he realized that these people are so demented and evil and insane that they support exterminating Israeli babies. You remember that? Hasan Piker saying that Israeli babies are settlers too? It was only after that that Ethan was like, yeah, these people are fucking insane. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, great video. Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. Ethan's got a big smile on his face. I don't blame him. And Ethan, yeah, I take him to the woodshed. These people are the worst of the worst. They genuinely feel comfortable flagrantly breaking the law. And I know that maybe Ethan won't care about this, but they run down America. They trash this country. They promote terrorist rhetoric because Hasan does. You know, these people don't really have convictions. If Hasan Piker were to tomorrow pull a Cenk Uygur and be like, guys, I've realized the error of my ways. You know, I'm right wing now. Like I'm a Trump supporter. A lot of the people like Denims and Frogan, they'd be like, oh, wow, yeah, I see what Hasan's saying. Yeah, he's right. He's right. No, yeah, Trump is great for doing this. Yeah. Like, these people are not true believers. These people are activists and agitators because it's convenient, because otherwise they wouldn't be allowed in the orbit of Hasan. And the fact of the matter is that these people continue to demonstrate every day that they believe that they are above the law, that they're above any consequences for their own actions. And I'm here to tell you, it's satisfying. It's satisfying to actually see them for once face the consequences of their bad behavior. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by going over to Kick. and following me over there. We are at 185. We've gone up again. 185 followers. I made this count, about 2 weeks ago. I didn't stream for about a week because, I was gone. And that's what we've been able to do. That's incredible. It's tremendous. And I appreciate all the support. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.